Whoa, oh man. Hey, Joel Eiffel, the Tube Dude, here with Donut Tools. A customer came to us with a challenge the other day. Can you face titanium tube to aerospace standards? We said challenge accepted, but more importantly, yes you can. But rather than just talk about it, I think we should get into the details here and just make some cuts in real time. First though, what are the challenges with cutting titanium tube? Titanium has a reputation of being difficult to fabricate. And it's a well-earned reputation. So let's face, pun intended, some of those common issues head on with fabricating titanium tube. First up is conductivity. Titanium has, less than 7 times the thermal conductivity of something like carbon steel at A36. What this means is that normally we expect the chips and the base material to kind of eject that heat, but it's going to build up right at the cut surface. This means your tool bits are going to wear out faster, and in extreme cases, you're going to get galling. Literally, the titanium is going to weld itself to the cutting surfaces, to the tool bits, and cause extreme and rapid tool wear. But that's not all. Titanium has a reputation for work hardening. Common grades like grade 5, probably one of the most common grades of titanium, will work harden very fast. So if you start rubbing or taking very light cuts with your tool bits, instead of making a clean cut, it's just going to harden that material, which is going to make your job harder, pun intended, trying to cut through the tube. But that's not all. Probably the final one is that titanium is just a very tough material. Grade 5 titanium has a yield strength of about 138,000 psi compared to A36 steel, which is 36,000 psi. And so when you get a thin tube like this, it's going to tend to want to bend over, roll, give you burrs, or not give you clean cut surfaces, which is going to be very important in something like aerospace orbital welding. So where does that leave us? In aerospace applications, we have thin wall titanium tube. The heat has nowhere to go. It's going to want to work harden on us, and this thin wall is going to want to bend or deflect and roll over, leaving us a poor quality cut. So can a facing machine cut titanium tube? Absolutely. I've been talking too long. Let's just go find out. Over here, we have our Donut Tools TSM-6000. This is our biggest facing tool. Right next to it, we have some grade 3 titanium tube, generously donated to us by a customer who actually wanted to see if it would cut. And today we're going to be using our ProFace 1 Warrior tool bits. This is an upgraded version of our best-selling ProFace 1 tool bit. Has a different coating. It's going to give it better wear life here, better heat rejection. It's going to be a good choice for something like titanium. If you're going only the hardest materials, your Hastelloys, your Inconels. We also make a carbide version, but for titanium, this is a great choice. And a common question I often get is, what thickness of tube? Usually aerospace is thin. We'd say you probably get it to about 1/8 of an inch of wall thickness before you're going to run out of torque on a machine like this. It's really going to be dependent on the diameter of the tube, the material, but at least 1/8 of an inch. And frankly, if you are facing 1/4 inch, 1/2 inch titanium tube, well, good luck. That's going to be a pain to work with in any setup. To make this really simple here, helps if someone backs it all the way off and doesn't leave it unbacked off. Joel. Let's just get to cutting. We have loaded up our ProFace 1 Warrior tool bit. Kind of in real time here, I have an as-cut tube coming straight off an aerospace line. This is how you get it from like a saw cut, cold saw, etc. Looks like it's been manually deburred, inconsistent, and you can't see any of this, but there's a little tiny bit of a root gap. It's not a perfectly square cut. We're going to change all that. We're going to load it up. I like to touch off the face of the tool bit itself and then back off just a little bit. That way, when you start the cut, you don't want to start the cut with the tool bit engaged. That's when you get your wear. It's just a bad practice to get into. Tighten this down. We have it in the 1-speed setting. We're actually going to be pretty aggressive on the feeds and speeds because it work hardens. We just want to give it consistent pressure. We don't want to sit there and kind of burnish the tool against that surface, just grind it against the surface. So with all that being said, let's just cut it here. Whoa, hey, wear safety glasses. Ugh. Almost forgot my safety glasses. Kids, always be safe. Let's get to cutting. And that was it. So in real time here, this is gonna be hard to do. Solo. Man, I wish I had friends. That's giving us, yeah, you can see the light catching it. That's giving us a perfectly square cut, no burrs, and actually not a lot of heat buildup here at all. So that is what I would call a perfectly prepped tube. Yes, challenge accepted. It will cut titanium, no problem. And honestly, I'd expect any good facing machine to be able to cut titanium, any of the good American-made brands here. You know, it's one of those things that seems scary, but tube facing machines are a great addition to shops that are doing a lot of titanium work because of all the challenges you're gonna have with other cutting processes like cold saws, band saws, etc. So go over to something like a facing machine and you'll get a very, very good square cut. This is perfect to go into your welding or your fabrication steps. We also use the machine out in aerospace to trim to a very precise length. Every gradation on the machine is exactly 10 thousandths. So if you want to trim to exact length here, it's pretty easy to set it up and say, I'm going to take off another 10 thousandths or work to a scribe line. Overall, I'd say this cut quality is excellent, as I would expect. And Matt is cutting titanium tube on a Donut Tools facing machine. Joyful the Tube Dude. Today we took the challenge. We cut titanium tube. It's perfectly possible. It's a great use. Find out more at donuttools.com. Bye. Oh, smacked myself in the face. That hurt.